What a crazy difference a week makes. 7 days ago, Marvell Technology, the semiconductor and networking equipment maker you know I like it, reported its latest quarter. And after an initial sell-off, the stock soared in after-hours trading as the forecast growth was huge, and the company made a terrific acquisition. Then reports emerged saying that they'd lost some chip business with Amazon Web Services, might be even losing more business from Microsoft. I find this confusing. The stock plunged 7% yesterday and sank another 3% today. It's given up these gains. I hope we can clear some of this up because the company's firing on all cylinders. So let's dig deeper with Matt Murphy, he's the chairman and CEO of Marvell Technology, to get a better read on the situation. Mr. Murphy, welcome back to Mad Money.
It's great to be back, Jim, on Mad Money. Thank you.
Okay, Matt, I've never heard you be a more exciting and let's say, more robust guidance than I've ever heard from you in terms of long-term growth. What makes you so confident you can pull this off?
Well, first of all, Jim, the track record we've established now in this AI cycle has been very strong. Think about it. When I was here a year ago, we were a less than $6 billion revenue company. Right. This year, we're going to end over $8 billion, and where the street ended up for next year is $10 billion. And actually, where I guided everybody, and we'll talk about that, on a multi-year basis, we see another 30% growth for the company in calendar 27. So we definitely have a multi-year view of where the business is headed. But think about just this past year. We grew the company over 40%.
That's amazing.
Look at all large semi companies in the last 12 months. Who's grown faster? NVIDIA.
That's about it. Now, you made an acquisition that I thought was brilliant because we had spent a lot of time with Corning in Harrisburg, Kentucky, and I realized it's going to be fiber everywhere if possible. This acquisition could position you fiber, scale up, maybe able to be inside. Tell us about it, because it was really a shock to analysts that you got it.
Yeah, no, first of all, it's a company called Celestial AI. It's a phenomenal company. It's a venture-backed startup in a very hot space, which is exactly what you talked about, which is in silicon photonics.
Right.
So their product is called a photonic fabric chiplet. Okay, and what that does is it integrates the photonics and the fiber onto the chip and inside the data center. So today, there's silicon photonics technology used to connect data centers together, but this actually is pioneering technology that's going to bring the technology inside the data center.
Well, this is important because we keep hearing about miles and miles of copper in a data center. Copper will not work as these scale up and get bigger, right?
It's out of gas.
It must be your stuff.
It's out of gas because there's a certain trace length or limit to the cable, right? And then at some point, when you want to increase the bandwidth through copper, you're going to run out of gas. So you actually need optical technology to do that. Now,
and you're the king of optical technology inside.
That's right, because we started off, if you remember a few years ago, we acquired a company called Inphi, which at the time, people thought we were nuts.
Right.
We paid $10 billion for a company that was doing about $650 million in revenue. That company now is doing over $3 billion in revenue 4 years later. Actually, the revenue on that company now is bigger than the TAM that we thought was available at that time.
Total addressable market.
So this is the next. Think of this as like Inphi, but the next generation of technology. Inphi was for scale out. This is for scale up. That means connecting all the compute elements together.
The big money. Now, I do want. This is a great chance, Matt. There's an outfit called SemiAnalysis. They talked about how you had lost a design bake-off with AI chip for AWS's business. You have a very close relationship with AWS. Then there's a report yesterday, information about Microsoft and Broadcom converging to take some of your Microsoft business. It is very difficult for any CEO to talk about clients. It's almost, it's stricken verboten as far as I'm concerned.
It's tough, yeah.
At the same time, when journalistic outfits say things that are not true, or won't prove to be true, and people sell stocks, I get angry. And I know you as a man of honor for many, many years. Right. Can you at least give us a sense of, do you need all will these things that were mentioned knock your forecast, and your forecast is already wrong?
Right. Yeah, I don't know what word to use, confused or astonished, but let me just tell you what happened. So as you said in your intro, we announced our earnings last Tuesday.
Right.
Stock performed very well after hours and the next day. I think people love the messaging, and like you said, I was very optimistic and very confident in the business, not just next quarter, not just next year, but on a multi-year basis.
Well,
and I actually laid it all out, Jim. This was the longest script and set of prepared
was
remarks
long. It took me a little while, candidly.
I ever did, but I did it for a reason.
Right.
I did it so that I could get the transparency out there.
Okay.
And so that was last Tuesday. Now, somehow between last Tuesday and Friday, somehow we lost, one article said we lost a huge piece of business. which I had just said on Tuesday, not only are we going to deliver that next year, I have the bookings.
Thank you.
The backlog.
Thank you. I said that earlier. I could not believe they could get away with writing that.
So those orders are on the books. That's done.
Okay.
And then the other one was about, again, a potential lost piece of business in the future.
And Broadcom's a tough competitor.
And what I would say is, look, we have deep key relationships with all the major U.S. hyperscalers. Deep relationships.
Including a warrant situation with one that...
That's right. At AWS, and it was actually a year ago when I was on your show, we had just announced that, which was to buy AI custom products from us, networking products, and then with the Celestial acquisition, I don't know if you caught this, but there was an update to the warrant agreement.
Yes, there
So we
was.
added silicon photonics and photonic fabric as a third swim lane to the warrant structure.
Right, and it's very clear in the conference call, because an analyst asked about it, and you complimented the analyst for noting this.
Right.
Because there's a lot of information in that quarter.
There was a lot.
That was, my feeling is on this, and you got to correct me, is you gave us a lot of info, and it was hard.
Right.
It was dense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was about how close you are with customers that then I have to read the next day that you're not close with.
That's right. So I can tell you this. From Tuesday to Friday, nothing changed. We didn't lose any business.
People need to hear this, okay? This stock has lost a dramatic amount of capitalization for no reason.
Yeah. Now, just let me give you another data point. It's really the consternation, and I get it, is around.
Well, that's why you're gutsy to come here. People should know how hard it is to talk about the stuff he's talking about.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
Right.
But you want a clear message up for shareholders.
Absolutely. My shareholders and my employees and even my customers understand what we're going through. They see it.
Right.
They've all called me about this stuff. So here's the way to think about it. The consternation is on this custom silicon business. The reason is there's lots of headlines on this, right? It's in the daily news cycle, who's doing what. So I guess there's money to be made. But here's the deal on our custom business. From calendar 23 to 24, that business quadrupled for Marvell.
Right.
From calendar 24 to 25, that business doubled for Marvell. We said for next year, it's going to grow 20%. So it's got this huge steep ramp. It's still going to keep growing. And then the year after, it's going to double again. And I have total visibility to this.
Okay.
And the reason, let me tell you.
Sure.
We talked earlier about communication circuits and interconnect.
Right.
And how you, in our company, okay, we think a lot about, and it's an engineering term called signal-to-noise ratio. Signal-to-noise, SNR. Okay. And so here's the deal. So in a communication system, the signal is what you're trying to solve for, right? That gets data from point A to point B. The noise is all the stuff in the system around it. Could be imperfections in the fiber, could be heat, could be noise. So same thing in the stock market, same thing with Marvell. There's all this noise out there. I'm the signal. Right. I know what's going on. I have the visibility. I have the relationship with these customers. And so our business is rock solid in our data center. Right. And nothing has changed since last Tuesday.
Okay, I will tell you that I had an identical discussion with you last time. We had over a drink. I said to you, I can't believe your stock dropped this much. It was like ridiculous. Right. You said, well, I'm not, and you said it's fine. Right. Next thing I know, I read you bought a huge amount of stock in the open market. You go by the filings. You didn't tell me. Then you bought more. Now you are up substantially. I know you don't flip and you can't flip. No. Is this another opportunity where Matt Murphy makes another statement buy?
Look, I not only did I buy.
No, I'm talking about the last few days.
I know. Well, what I'd say in general, the silver lining is there's a massive opportunity right now to buy Marvell. I mean, look, if you just look at where we trade today relative just to the semiconductor index, we're trading below the average multiple.
I know.
We are not an average company. We've had outsized growth. We have huge prospects in our tie into the data center, all the things we're doing. I've never been in a more high momentum business environment, Jim, than right now.
I've known you a long time, and I am. You've been money good. You've been money good the whole way.
Think about this. Last 3 quarters, Q2, record bookings. Q3, record bookings. Q4, quarter to date, I've already booked more. I've already had more bookings quarter to date than I did all of last quarter. And the reason why is I laid in all that backlog and all those bookings for that piece of business that's supposedly gone. So Anyway, we can move off this, but yeah.
We're going to have to roll. But you came on this show not for that. The acquisition was great. The numbers great. But thank you for clarifying, because you know that people can write whatever they want, because there's no such thing as a journalism jail.
It's okay. Look, it's a moment in time. I get it. It's a moment in time.
Last time you bought a lot in the moment in time. We'll see what happens this time. That's Matt Murphy, Chairman CEO of Marvell, MRVL. I hope you got a lot out of it. To me, let's just say the truth will out. Mad Money's back after the break.